Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of FarmTown here in City Skylines. That was the biggest lag in the world right now. Well, last episode, boys, we extended our farming industry that little bit further. We built so many farms, which worked out really well for us in our brand new town of Cattlemore, and it's given us a huge surplus in terms of grain. Now, we also kind of expanded the the road network in many ways as well. We've enabled ourselves now to kind of alleviate the junctions a little bit better. We kind of came up with this little beauty where we still have the dedicated roundabout, but we've also got dedicated right-hand turns to allow the traffic to continually flow to pretty much reduce the amount of vehicles on the roundabout. Now, it's not perfect, but it does still serve a purpose, which I'm really happy about. Today, we're going to do some more expansions. I got some really good ideas that I want to implement. Some that are going to help education, some that are going to help farming products, and some which probably will cause more issues down the road. But that's always the way, boys. That is always the way. But if you are enjoying the series so far and want to see more of it, then make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, what are we doing today? Well, many things. Many things. Right now, we have to kind of break this down slowly. Right now, we currently have a little bit of a deficit in not the actual materials that we produce, but the material goods, and that kind of falls under beverages, convenience food, and of course textiles, and it's a huge deficit. Now, this stuff can only be produced by having the raw product, which is either the grain, the vegetables, the cotton, and then it has to be processed within an actual factory, which I have actually got a lot of demand for everything, but I have a huge industrial demand, and to be honest with you, we don't really have that much industry without this region anyway. So what I want to do is I want to build a little bit of an industrial park. Now, I want to build it within this area because it will make sense why in just a moment, but I want to build a little bit of an industrial park, which we can use the surplus of goods that we are now creating from our farms and process them into material goods, because when it comes to our imports, our biggest imports is food, convenience food, and textiles. All this stuff can be created via the factories. I know, kind of crazy, right? Now, if I build an industrial park around here, it also means that we're going to need to somehow bring trains in for unloading and loading on a cargo station, because the nearest one is either driving outside of the region there and there, or even over here. The nearest cargo train station is all the way over there, and this does get kind of slightly overloaded, so it would be nice to kind of slightly, give us the ability to distribute more people. So we've got quite a little bit of a challenge to do right now. We really have. So I want to build on here because, one, the roads are quiet anyway. There's a train line nearby that I can kind of bring in somehow to an actual cargo station. So if all goes to plan, we should have a nice little industrial park, which we'll have to sort out kind of public transport to get over here as well. And it will be kind of within the vicinity of Cattlemore, Tri-Delta, and FarmTown of commuters to get over here. And it will be surrounded by the farming area. It's kind of out the way, won't cause any pollution to any residential. It should be pretty good. Now, before we do, I think we need to figure out where the actual cargo train station is going to go. Because if I can get that in first, I can then understand what space I've got available to implement a little bit of our industrial park. So, transportation. If I go to trains, and we have the ability to build a cargo train terminal. Now, if I pull it on, for example, this road, the train goes that way, so it kind of needs to go on this road, but I can't have the ability for it to go on that road because of what's going down. So, I might sacrifice some of this farm here. If I delete you, right, goodbye. And if I delete this road, and what we'll do is I'm just going to quickly drop down a basic road like this, just so I can kind of place in the train station. So if I placed it in, like, right into there, that's our cargo station. I just need to know how far over I've got to push it. So if I was to maybe add an extra set of tracks, they already go on the line itself, or on the building itself, but then we have the ability to add an extra storage in. Now, when you think about this, you can get them to load from both sides. So the storage would make sense going over there. But I'm just trying to figure out how many spaces. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, well, 6 if you count 1, 2, No, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where it would run up and connect to. Right. Okay. So let me delete you. Delete you, delete you, delete you. And let me just build it to this. So if I build that to there, I'm just then going to figure out how far down I push it so I can get the extra storage building on. Because having that extra storage building is going to be a huge help for us. Because you never know how much goods we're going to get stored, you know, locally within this area. So, place you on. Oh, that's almost perfect. Right, I'll put it there. No, that was perfect. Obviously, we got a little bit of a line there. It's weird how that doesn't just fill the whole gap, doesn't it? It is kind of weird, but that was... I couldn't have got that any better, boys. Now, we'll make this go all the way down. Great thing is for us, it's got 2 entry points, but I can see it getting pretty busy. I can see it getting pretty busy. Now, we'll add the extra line onto it as well, so we'll kind of utilize both. And we'll just initially get this now connected. So, if I run that down to there, because it's singular lines, isn't it? I can kind of bring you in, but this one, if the curve works out really well, I mean, it doesn't really work like that. I think I need to upgrade it a little bit further. And if I then just come off of this, like, oh, hello. There we go. We'll see what happens here. I'll take the snapping off. Now, if I went, let's say this is roughly in the middle, about there. Oh, let me go this side instead. Oh, I'm about to say then, why is it not working? I ain't got my continuous curve on. To kind of thrall itself in. I don't know if that works out or not, I'm not too sure. Now, I don't have the option to kind of bring it that way. Unfortunately. I could do if we maybe kind of slightly changed or even... Do you know what? Delete you off. What if I set it up where one goes one way and one goes the other? Thus leading to... Let me put my snapback on there. This being the one that goes out this way. Now this is a complete and just guess right now, okay? But if I lead you to connect in like that, and then somehow if I brought this out, that this could maybe bend to go out that way. Now that's a big ask. It is a huge ask, okay? And it is going to mess up a lot of my farm here. So if I just kind of kill off there to there, and if I now go and bend all the way down, so that would be your snap. Oh, no, no, Seniac. No. I forgot to do the bend. Right, this is just a... I didn't even think about this. I haven't even given this any thought process, but it's just a complete trial. And I want to see what it does. Now, it's going to create too many connections, which they're not going to like. So what if I push it back a bit? Now, if I go right down, snap you into there. Now, that could work, but it seems quite dramatic. Oh, this could work. Something like this. Now, I completely agree before you say anything, Seniac. This is a lot of connections right now that lead over the roads, which are going to cause mass traffic issues. I agree. I agree. Like, literally, I agree. That's all I can say. Now, thinking about this, I might push this a little bit closer. I mean, I agree, but am I doing anything to kind of rectify it? No, is the answer. There we go. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. You never know. You never know. So let me just quickly sort this farm out. We'll kind of see what the issues do as we go along. If it's too bad, we'll kind of change it. But I thought it would be something a little bit different, right? It's just something a little bit different. I think we can have some fun with it. Right. See if I can get this to get as snug as a bug to there. Which it does. Right, glorious. So that's now in. Right now, it's fully connected. All I've got to do is... Oh, it's highway maintenance vehicles causing issues. All I've got to do now then is create the cargo route. So obviously this one here is going to go out to this way. And then back again. That's simply all it's going to do. And then this one. Now this one's an interesting one because I have the option to maybe make it do multiple stops. Like it doesn't have to technically, but I go anywhere, but I can't make it turn into there to go into this one. It doesn't have to go into that one. I can make it come down. There's no cargo station around there. There's one over there. I can make it stop off here. And then lead out and go out this way. And then on the way back, it stops off here. Or maybe not. I don't think you can do cargo routes like that. Or maybe the cargo route is now way too long. What am I trying to get from this? There's one stop there. It's a way to kind of pick up some or move the goods from there to there. But I don't know why I've done that. Because it doesn't make much sense, does it? It doesn't make much sense. So... I'm going to redo that route. I'm not a fan of it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of it right now. Cargo, Route 6, delete. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's just a shame. Because if I was to move it anywhere... over to there and over to there would be a good idea between the two. But you just can't... or I just don't have... the ability. Unless I just move it to Sierra Valley. Because I have one that takes it out of the region, which is completely fine. This one is just solely to move it to another area, which I think over here would be okay. I think. We'll see what happens. We'll ultimately just see what happens. Now, cargo route 5, I'm assuming, I'm using it into 1. I'm assuming I don't have enough trains to be able to do all of this. So how many trains needed for this? We're going to put it down to its minimum. 1 train. There we go. We'll soon know because it will kind of start complaining that there's not enough trains. But I think we're okay for now. So that sorts that out. That allows us to have a kind of central point within this area to drive goods to or to pick goods up from and then drive it back to wherever it needs to get to. Which now gives us this ability and centralized location that we can utilize to pick up and drop off some goods and to build a industrial area. Now around this, I'm actually going to upgrade the roads to these little alley roads. Let's get rid of the dirt. Just around the edges. Down to there and to there. We'll do one that way, we'll do one that way, and then we'll do one that way. Might as well connect that up like that. But we'll keep it like that, as if it like that's how it transitions in the area. And you see the train now cutting across, so it will slow the traffic down. We might see a few issues around this area, but it's self-inflicted, okay? That's the one thing that we can guarantee and we can always say to ourselves. It is self-inflicted, boys. Self-inflicted. So, the industrial area. Now, I could build it here straight away and it backs onto all this, which will be probably a nice little kind of addition. I do want to build it to over here, but I've got to figure out how far I'm willing to build it. I don't want to do too much, even though I do want to do too much. That will cause mass traffic issues. So if I bring you up... So let's just start with the basics first. Just kind of build our grid that we can utilize. Now, run this down to there. Because we kind of have to fit in as much zone as we can. How far is that off this? Ah, okay, let's build it here instead. Alright, we've got to delete that. Let's try that again. So that pretty much mimics that other side. I will do road splitting through. So I'm going to kind of bring this down to about 224. Do the same on this side. 224. And I reckon that's as far as I'm going to push it. We can maybe bring this down to mimic the area. And that's probably as much as I want to go. We'll kind of push this down as if it was sprawling out. We'll do the same on this side. Actually, I'm going to do another connection there. Just give us that additional turning point on this highway. That is a dirt road. And then I'll do one more here. I'll upgrade this. Just like that. As if they tarmacked it for the amount of traffic that's flowing through. And I reckon we'll meet and match that connect. You know, even though it's not going to connect, the road layout is going to match that. There we go. I'll do one just there. And then we'll push this out. We'll do 224. On that one. Something similar there. Right, we're getting a rough idea of how we want to work it. So just like that. And then this here is going to match just there. Now that's quite a vast area for industry, isn't it? I can see us having some major traffic issues. But eventually all these roads that lead out will sprawl out into dirt roads and then link up to all the other farms, which should have like shorter cut routes as well. That's hopefully eventually what it's going to be like, he says. Right, so water's not an issue through here. Neither is power. Because the train lines also connect up, don't they? I don't think the train lines actually transfer. But we've got the lights on the highway, so it all works. And before we go any further, is there any unique buildings we can kind of throw down? So, that's not the right section. Signature buildings. Industry. We have the chemical plant. Now, this is important, right? I'm not too bothered about what it produces. It's the benefit it gives our city. So that's a +1 industrial efficiency. Not really too bothered about that. Fuel plant, 5% industrial ground pollution city. I mean, where was that earlier when I was polluting FarmTown? This one here, the switch on, gives us a 2% efficiency, but a +1 college graduation chance, which is kind of good. So the education is something that we slack on. We do need more educated people, so that could be good to squeeze in. And the farmer as well. Look at that. 1%, 1+ in university graduation chance, and 5% interest in university in general. Now, these large buildings, that is to a certain extent. So's that. But I think these would be perfect in this area to kind of end on. Because it's a way in which we can kind of like, as the, you know, you're driving down, you can see the big factory buildings and you'll know you're in an industrial park area. So I'm not too sure what they need. The switch on's the biggest one out of the two. So I'll place you there. Well, I'm not sure what they require. I don't even know if we're going to be able to rent them out. But like I always do, a perimeter road going around. Why is that road weird? There we go. Perimeter road going around it. Nice little way to end the area. And then the other one is the farmer. And that could be... I mean, I could squeeze it on this side, to be honest with you. Like, if I deleted this road, and then... Will it fit on here? Oh, no, because of the size of the area. But if I deleted you, and then put you maybe here... I could then build our perimeter road around this way. It's to avoid too many junctions is what I've done there. It's to avoid too many junctions, but that squeezes in there. Now, I'll plant down trees all around this. So these will be the only 2 big buildings that you kind of see from this area. And then it turns into normal factories. Now, I don't know if you can actually... Oh, okay. That's done it straight away. Now, as employment, it's mainly educated, well-educated, highly educated. That's going to suck up one of our educated people, but that provides over 1,500 jobs. It does produce electronics, so that'll be a big exporter. Oh, okay, we got this one rented out as well, and that is mainly well-educated and highly educated. Nearly 700 jobs. Boys, we've got over 2,200 jobs now available in just 2 buildings. The commute to work is going to be crazy. And that produces pharmaceuticals as well. But the benefits I give for it, it gives us a boost in education. Mainly university, and I think a bit of college as well. So they're now in, but the whole point was, I need right now to produce more farming products. So let's get some industrial down. So if I just do the basics first, like there and there, let's just see how we get on with those 2 kind of rectangles being filled. It didn't even touch the industrial demand. That's how crazy that is. Right, can I maybe fill this gap? Yes. I'm just wondering if we can fill the gaps. I think that's as good as you're going to get it on that one. It didn't even touch that industrial demand. That's kind of scary. Oh, oil refinery unlocked. That is kind of scary. Alright, go to here. Push this all down to there. Push this down to there. Right, now we're spending the demand. Now we're seeing the demand disappear. So it's a lot to throw in. It is a lot, and I'll go crazy. I'm kind of leaving the entries open, so I'm not zoning right to the kind of side, and we'll plant down trees and stuff. But that is a lot to throw in. And because it's only really connected on this strip of road, this strip of road's going to become really, really busy until I get alternative connections from FarmTown connected in general, because it's going to be so busy. It's going to be so busy. It's going to put our roundabout to the test. But again, as long as we get the public transport right, we can do okay. Now, do we have anything that goes through this area? We do have the bus line that goes from FarmTown to Cattlemore, that does passes through. We could get these guys to kind of slightly stop off on both sides. So I reckon... Right, let me just get my bearings. It leaves this way. So driving down, could I get it to maybe just pass through? I'm going to do these style, haven't I? Yeah. So a stop there, and then we'll do a stop there going out. So as it's coming through, I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not. It detours to there. Then detours to over there. I could waypoint it like that. Where does it go through, by the way? It turns just there, which it is kind of awkward. I could maybe make it turn there. Throw an additional stop here. Make some use out of it. And then on the way back, do the exact same thing, but on the opposite side of the road. I might need more buses down this route. We might need more buses. So as this is coming down now, there, I want to try and mimic it, like the route following. And then it will go out here. Oh, that's weird. So it crosses over this way because it can't make that turn. What if I scrap that one off? Oh, no, not you. Because then it goes from there, turns through here, because its next stop is there. Yeah. Right, it just adds the bus in now. It's only there just to kind of make the game understand that public transport can get to that region. It's not the most efficient variation of it. But it allows them and makes them understand that public transport can reach this area. So let's have a little bit of a fast forward then, because we're going to need some time to now pass. We're looking for factories that... Oh, that's... I was going to say right there, we need a lot of chemicals to make pharmaceuticals. So you're going to see a lot of chemical factories sprawling up as well. A little bit too many. So I think this is actually backfired. This may have backfired on me. You still get the odd one or two. Look, you still get the odd one or two. Is it... No, I might say, is it the size of it? But it's not. Minerals. I mean, yeah, minerals, because minerals and plastic. This might have backfired. Boys, this might have backfired. It's now producing everything for our two big factories. But I don't mind it. Because it'll be another way which we can kind of make some sweet cash. But let me see what else I can now squeeze in. So, trying to avoid the big turning points. And all the way down to here. Squeeze some more in. That's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot of factories. Now, I'm not saying it's going to change anything already. But material goods. We are not that far off from having a surplus on beverages. Now that deficit is getting smaller. It was in the 40s, it's now in the 30s. Okay, now it's back to the 40s. But it's consistently changing. So keep your eyes peeled on that, boys. This is already starting to store some goods in already, which is perfect. So we know that the train line's working out really well. And we should really think of sorting out ways in which we can now maybe connect a couple roads. Not too many, just a couple. We'll see how far this dirt road here goes when we go straight. So if I bring that to there, and we'll connect that one into this one. So 58, 56, that's fine. That runs into there, pretty much okay. Yeah, might be a little bit too close on that one. So 96, 99's fine by me. So they run into there. They don't really do much, it just transitions over, and I probably will edit and adjust this at some point in the future anyway. What we'll do now is we'll push this to go through, just so it creates another connection. I might as well go through the whole thing. Now, I will eventually adjust this when I come to work in this area. It's just so it gives us a few alternative connections and just shortens that route, so they haven't got to rely on the highway too much. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I can see us having to stick roundabouts in these junctions as they get more busier and busier. But time will tell. Time will tell. Now, production-wise, for the material goods, Beveraginos. Oh, the deficit's now down to 22 tons. So it definitely is getting smaller. But if you only budge that much in the beverages, it kind of worries you for stuff like food, where the... I mean, convenience food has actually dropped quite a bit as well. Let's not ignore that. But then we got over 1,000-ton deficit for just food alone. That's ridiculous, isn't it? That really is. But it will just come with time. It will just come with time. The more we produce, the less we import. And, yeah. It's going to take a long time. Especially now all this stuff is producing chemicals. This train is bringing a load of goods in. Food, beverage. How is it bringing in livestock? Boy, we are producing and have a large surplus of livestock. Crazy, right? It's crazy how the game works at times. It really is. It really is. But even though I've got all that in, my demand for industrial is slowly creeping back in. So I'm going to start building the odd little farm or two now. Now, this area I'm kind of happy with. What I'll do is go right up on this side. And this is where we start to get some farms implemented. So we'll add a connection. Ooh. Someone's not parallel, and I don't know who. But it will be hidden by the farms anyway. It will be hidden by the farms. So I'm actually going to delete you. And we're going to quickly jig in a couple of farms right now. Now the only reason I do that is I want to start staggering the roads. You know how it works, boys. We did it over there. We did it over there. There we go. That's gone really weird. It really has. Why did he go funky right at that last second? There we go. I'm just going to build a couple just here to slowly start kind of surrounding the whole area with farms. Now, considering that they brought in livestock, I'll place down some livestock farming. So let's start here. Now, I'm just doing it very loose. I'm a loosey goose right now. I'm a loosey goose. Alright, there we go. And then we'll do one over here real quick. So I'm only going to do a couple, not too many. Not too many. This is one of the original ones I wanted to get in here anyway, because it is cattle more, so I want livestock, because, you know, livestock, cattle, you know how it works. You know how it works. And this is going to be the first one that's going to technically back on right now to the factories. So we'll do that one. I'll do a small one here. So this is all backing onto factories. Not bad, boys. Now, it's quite the rectangle. Don't get me wrong. It's quite the rectangle here. What I'll do is I'll bulk maybe an extra layer out of factories. That road doesn't fully commit. We'll bulk an extra layer so it's not just this awkward rectangle. But it does look pretty good. I might kind of change some of it up so it doesn't look too plain and ordinary. But there's only so much you can do to, you know, to an industrial area to make it look good. There's only so much you can do. Now, not saying anything's changed now, but in terms of production, and I'm not too bothered about this, it's the material goods. We are now, wow, we've just gone for a huge surplus in beverages. Oh, snap, the deficit for food has gone down by like over 300 almost. We're about to close the deficit on convenience food. So it could also be a case of you just having to wait for workers, or maybe, you know, some of these shut down and someone new comes in and takes over and it's to do with food. You know, that stuff does happen, but that is a huge change. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. But you can kind of see how this area is now going to work. Does many vehicles use these dirt roads? Okay, there's one there. But it is the wrong time to even be looking at it right now. We're about to get hit by rush hour. Trains do pretty well. Again, they don't really back up the road too much. But again, it's morning. No one's really woken up yet. So you can't judge that much. Is there many people waiting at the bus stop? Not on that one at the minute. But again, it's only the morning. What are you expecting, sir? What are you expecting? 2 bus stops there. And then we have here somewhere. Is it about here? Where's the other ones? Oh, here. Like I said, it's morning. Nothing has even gone down yet. Nothing has even gone down. So while we are waiting, well, we can just kind of actually get some oak. Now, it's oak in this area. Up the brush strength that we're going for. So we'll kind of like place as much as we can down. And if I up the brush size... If you kind of hold it, it'll eventually just place itself in. But the downside is you're gonna have to. We have to wait for it all to grow. That is the downside of it all. So in the little nooks and crannies and the gaps, a bunch of oak trees around there. And then we'll eventually see them in time. Eventually they'll grow nice and big and look, well, not dead like this, but it is winter in the game. What are these trees over here? These are oaks. Okay. What did I say there? Wood 2000. Damn, it's a lot of wood. It's a lot of wood. But yeah, not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Now, I feel like we've crawled back a huge deficit. But I also feel like we would have kind of now created a ton of jobs, which they're going to be screaming out for more residentials. Now, by building more factories, it will use more of my raw material. So you can see my textiles is getting close to being a deficit. Right, we have... Okay, we're now about to go into a deficit soon of beverages. The deficit of food's increased. So it comes and goes. It comes in waves and stuff like that, but... We've made some serious progression into that. Now, in terms of the job market or the work availability, you can see the jobs that we now have available are highly educated, well-educated, educated, are vastly higher than who are employed. So is poorly educated when you look at it, and uneducated is maybe 100 difference. So it just goes to show we really need more residents. We really do. Wow, okay. Okay. So we need a little bit of a population boom. Now, has the university's got more people going to them? I can't really remember what was going on before. How's the high school, the college, the university over here? Did we have another university ready over here, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, there's a fair enough amount of people over there. So yeah, there's definitely people going. That school's busy, isn't it? Yeah, we did get this running over here. It's got 200 people in. That elementary school's full. That's full on the outskirts. How is the one in Cattlemore? Yeah. So we're going to have to figure out some ways in which we can kind of bring more education to the region. But this is a huge industrial area. I feel like I want to create or open up one of the rectangles. Because it looks very boring, doesn't it? It does. It does look very boring, but there we go. We need to give it a name as well, don't we? We need to kind of give it a name. Now, if you made it this far in the video, congratulations. I really do appreciate that. Because you're now one of the lucky ones that, and only you now know, that your boy is creating a district name for this area. So let me know in the comment section down below, boys, what you think I should call this industrial area. Appreciate it. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, smash the like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.